Brilliant. Immortals and dragons, and a whole load of extra action-packedness as we travel on. Look after yourself, make sure you don't hit any walls or anything as you're moving around. Any pain in your body, slow it down, minimize it, and if possibly, just stop. Okay, warm-ups. Let's shake the body very gently to begin with, checking in how you're feeling, how heavy your legs are. I'm just lifting mine off the floor a little bit. Shaking the hands, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. This is a great way of trying to let go of any stress you've been carrying. And you might notice that suddenly you realize one of your elbows actually isn't moving. You're shaking a whole arm as opposed to different parts of the arm at the same time. Picking up a leg if you can, checking out how balanced you are this morning. Can you feel wobbly bits, bit of flesh, bit of loose muscle joining in, shimmer and shaking. Popping our feet down and carrying on, but trying to get the whole of the trunk of the body, the spine joining in. And that is bringing the energy into the pelvis. Pardon me, coughing. Feel it organising the rib cage a little bit more as well. It's a bit like a dog shaking the water off them. They come out of the sea. Brilliant. Shimmer and shake the rest of the body, coming into a standstill when you're ready. And we're just going to try out our balance again by coming up onto the toes and the balls of the feet and then dropping down. Release the knee joints. Very soft. Coming down, softening down. Coming up, bringing some energy higher up into the body and lowering down, reconnecting with the feet. A few more of these. See how you're doing. That feels very, very wobbly to you. You might need to hold on to a wall. Or maybe just do one leg at a time. Very good for the toe joints and health of the feet generally. Up and down. Brilliant. Let's wake up the sides of our bodies. We're going to do the handbag. So one arm to the side, coming all the way over. Lifting up by the wrist, coming up, opening the sides, opening up, and we're going to look down the other side, shimmer and shake that arm, opening up the side of the body. Let's go to the other side, big windmill, wrist comes up, arm is soft and dangling down. So you don't call this a stretch, you call it an opening up the side of the body. Doubly checking we're soft at the other side. Both sides one more time. Over we go, up and down, bit of a yin yang. Looking down and to the last side to equal ourselves out. Coming to a normal standstill. We're going to do a yin massage this morning. So big hands physically onto the body. Standing posture, soften the knees, tailbone down. Chest open, just take a lovely big breath to yourself. Arms gathering chi from around you. Coming in on top of the head onto crown gate, smoothing the hair round to the back of the neck. Smoothing that neck, we're coming to the throat and we're kitty-catting the throat, like a little pause, padding their way, bringing energy down through the throat. Backs of hands into prayer position, down midline through heart center. And our hands are then running round the ribs, round girdle vessel, all the way to the kidneys, which we rub. We're then flowing down over the gluteus maximus, down the legs, backs of the legs to the ankle, running round the feet and the ankles, coming up the inner leg, through the groin, up round the belly, hands interconnect and come all the way up opposite arms to the shoulder and a little bit of a squeeze. And then releasing down the arm. Say hello to all the fingers, soften your knees and expand. Beautiful. We're just going to do this one more time. Breathing in, taking in the chi of the room, gathering heavenly chi onto the head, crown gate, accepting through the back of the neck, round to the front, we're kitty-catting, opening communication channels, softening and smoothing and soothing. Backs of hands come down that midline, round the rib cage, round the middle of the earth, shall we say, rubbing the kidneys, especially in winter time. The water elements need to keep them nice and warm, and we're rubbing down the backs of the legs, all the way down to the earth, past the ankles, round the ankles, say hello to the toes. We're coming up the inner thigh, all the way through the groin to the belly, the hara, the center of your body. We're coming up the arms, up to the shoulders, and that little squeeze, pause. Release the breath, coming down the arms to the wrists and the hands and the palms and the fingertips. And we're just expanding into the air. Oh, take a moment, pause, and breathe. Lovely. Soften down. Feet still in standing posture. We're going to do some front swings, opening up the shoulders in one direction. Soften those knees. Your pelvis should be facing downwards with the tail going downwards as if you're starting to sit on a stool. A little bit of sitting behind you. I'm just showing you. Lovely. Looking ahead, allowing the weight of the arms to swing, not pushing too much. And when we're ready, we're going to put a little bit more energy into this and do some front pumps. So those little ski movements down the hill. To do that, we just sit down much further, and when you're ready, and push behind. Little soft one in between each one to see how that feels. Sitting behind. Checking out if your knees are okay this morning. You need to do a smaller sitting down. Big one might be too much. See how you feel. And we're pushing behind. You feel some air rushing past the body. Breathing in when you can, breathing out when it feels good. Trying to breathe through the nose and out through the nose. Just bring a little bit of awareness to how you're taking in air. When you're ready, we go back to the front swings. Just feeling the weight of the arms. We're going to carry on this, but 2 arms to each side. So when you're ready, a little bit of a sitting down, push to one side and push to the other side. So we're creating a bit of a spiral on the spine. So you're turning and looking the other way. Turning and whooshing. A little bit of pushing. Things behind you don't need anymore. Say goodbye to a few thoughts, through a few ideas. Beautiful. A couple more of these. And we're coming to the front, back to just normal swings. Hopefully loads more energy and heat back into that rib cage. Slowing down. We're just going to finish by a few knocking on the gate of life. So soften the knees, returning at the waist. Hips forward if you can. Arms traveling from one side to the other and wrapping round the body, wrapping round the girdle. Allowing the neck to travel with your shoulders. Checking out your room from left to right. Oh. The shoulders are being opened up in a slightly different way now. Physically connecting through to the body on that midline. Loads of important energy points to wake up. Join the clunking in the body. Spine twisting, helping with longevity of the spine, helping with your movements overall. Okay, we're going to slow that down. Brilliant, just standing, feeling the energy shift within the body. I'm going to gather some chi, 3 handfuls, big circle around you, gathering up, arms face down as they travel past the front of the body, sinking down with the knees. Do 3 of these. In the chi, we're through crown gates, sinking through. Beautiful. We're going to say hello to a few random birds now. Feet still in this position. We're going to start with the wise owl looks behind. This is the one where we slightly roll our shoulders, opening up those wings and turning the head to one side at the same time. You're looking over your shoulder, using your eyes to look even further if you can. As soon as you're far enough, you come back and we soften those arms and turn them in, which softens the shoulders, creates a little bit of a concave chest. Then we're off to the other side. We're breathing in, expanding the front of the chest. Turning the neck to look behind, using the eyes as well to look a little bit further. Wise owl turns behind or looks behind to eliminate distress and illness. But opening up the gateways in the neck very calmly, allowing all the information to go up to the brain in a clear way, less muddled. One more of these. Wise owl looks behind to eliminate stress and illness. Beautiful. Hands together. We're creating a little bit of a movement using the elbows. We're going to go into rooster spreads his wings. So our wings have been shortened and they're bringing the energy into the scapulars, those shoulder blades behind you, moving the hips as well, getting a bit of a snake experience going on in the spine. Soften the knees and we're going forward. So you're a bit shorter, but you're very big and very bossy and you're walking around your farmyard. Rooster spreads his wings. Picking up those shorter wings, pushing forward, expanding your back as you move. Hips from one way to the other. Feeling the colours and the texture of your lovely feathers. Very proud very bossy, very determined. Beautiful. One more of these. Bring that energy forward. Bring yourself back to a standing posture. And we're just going to pop our feet into a bit of a horse stance. That's a wider stance. So we can sink down. And here we're just going to do the Garuda bird. So that's hands from the center, opening out. And we sink down if we can, only if it's comfortable. The Garuda bird, very big, mythical, very large red bird from India. They say big enough to shield the earth from the sun. You've created a big canopy for your arms. Breathing and pausing, sinking down if you can. Don't have to stay for long. As soon as we're ready, we're up to a much more relaxed posture. Beautiful. Okay, little shimmer and shake. We'll move into a next section. So, these are a little chi ball to begin with. We're going to rub our hands as if we're trying to get warm or trying to start a little fire in our hands. And when you're ready, get yourself into standing posture. So your feet are lovely and parallel, those knees are soft. You're all lovely and aligned. And then we're just going to find a little bit of a chi ball. Hold it steady. This is the universe in your hands. So breathing in, breathing out, keep steady. We're just going to turn the universe to the left. Just a very small movement, circular in front of the body. Gets back down to the bottom, returning the universe to the right. Holding that chi, holding that universe in your hand. Beautiful. Bottom, we're going to place our hands into the earth mudra. One at the lower dantian, supporting the earth, the other hand, that midline. Soften the knees, and we're just going to push to one side. Turning the waist, keeping the hips facing forwards, changing the energy of your hands as if you're holding that chi ball again. Interconnecting the hands, swapping their positions, and we're pushing to the other side. Swapping the hands, finding that universe within your hands, or the earth this time. And pushing. You only go as far as you can, feeling like you're turning the waist and not the hips. Extending the muscles on the back of the arms. Project from one side to the other. Let's do this just a couple more times. Pushing, coming back, finding that center line of your body, interchanging the hands, pushing to the final side. Coming back, keeping those elbows up and wide, and just pausing with your mudra. Holding the earth, finding your central axis at the same time, earth mudra. From here, let's go back to holding the chi ball, and it's growing a little bit, it's turned into the sun, hot and blazing, and we're going to bring the sun over the lake for morning sunrise. So this is a bigger circle, lowering your back just slightly so that your sun starts a little bit lower, and we are taking it up one side, really at the side, completely turn to look at your side. The sun is rising all the way over your head, turning again to the other side, and bring that lovely sun all the way down. Sunrise over the lake. Beautiful. Pausing. Breathing. Now we're going to say hello to some of our immortals. The warriors representing our movement of continuous longevity and hopefully immortality. So our first one is immortal points above. The hands are going to go into a little Charlie Angel gun. Bit of a pointed finger. We'll take a step forward. We're basically pointing it up to the sky. And then I'll go back a bit and coming up onto the toes if you can. There's a bit of an upward movement. We then sit down, fold at the elbows and point behind. We then come back up and we're coming all the way up. So it's a bit of a balancing job, expanding the body on the lengthways, and then we point behind, sitting down if you can. Coming up, feet flat, sitting down, pointing behind. Like your forearms have become a little bit of a table, about head height. Pointing up and pointing behind. Immortal points above. So this is really all about your balance, isn't it? See how that feels, quite a contracted experience coming down. One more of these, up we go, really tall, flat feet, sitting, pointing behind, beautiful. Releasing the hands to the front, we turn into blade hands. The next one, immortal pushes the stone. This is a forward movement in standing. Take some energy from behind, like a bit of a gather. As it comes forward, it turns into a blade hand and you're pushing out. At that point, the other hand comes up, gathers a little bit more energy and pushes forward. And at the same time, you can sink your body down as if you were sitting down behind you. I'll just do this on the side. So we're gathering and your blade hand is coming forward. A little bit of tension held within the arms and the hands. Blade hand is the side of the hand with the little finger. Gather that chi from behind, bring it forward, and with your determination, you're pushing the stone in front of you. The mortal pushes the stone. So strong, shifting the rock. A lovely twist on the waist, keeping the hips forward with the knees, gathering past experiences and pushing it forward. But gathering the energy from the kidney energy, the bladder energy, the water energy, strong enough to push the rock. A couple more of these. The mortal pushes the stone. One more. Feel yourself equal, beautiful. Now our last immortal is points the way. So this we end up with swords, which are represented by 2 fingers, and the thumb can hold the 4 and 5 finger. So this is the one where we do the curtsy behind. So standing up, energy travels on a 380 degree, all lovely soft hands. When it comes to the horizontal, we form our swords. We then drop down, and as we're going to point that way, we take our leg backwards and we are curtsying, but pointing as far round as we can. Beautiful. Back to standing posture. Soft hands all the way round. Points the way, and we are curtsying, looking the other way. I haven't got so much room, so it looks a bit tight there. We're coming back up. Soft hands, 360 degrees. Swords cutting through the air. Just take that leg backwards to look behind you. Do a few more of these. Immortal points the way. Double sword. Another balance. Swinging the leg round. Always good to be able to curtsy. Never know when you might need it. Checking out where you're pointing to. Do 2 more of these. Immortal points the way. Know this from our Shibashi set 2. Last one, cut through the air. Turn and sit. Come to the full. Beautiful. Okay, let's carry on with our immortal feeling. Shake the back for 100 illnesses. I'm going to do this standing on the side and bending over from the quad, the hips, very relaxed arms. I'm just folding over, head's going over. You suffer from low blood pressure, probably not a good idea to put your head completely upside down. So miss this one out or keep your head up. Going really as far as I can. I've bent my knees. My arms are heavy on the floor like orangutan arms. And then I'm going to uncurl vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing myself up to standing. The neck and the head always comes last. And I'm going to carry on by rolling my shoulders back, doing a little bit of a back bend, but from the quad, not from the middle of the back. Looking up, bit of a back bend if you can. And then up to the vertical, we lift our heels up and slam down the body, shaking the flower in the flower pot. Let's do that again. Here we go. Bending over from the quad, breathing, allowing the vertebrae to open gently, softening the knees, hands relaxing on the floor. When you're ready, we're going to uncurl, pushing up from kidney 1, the base of the feet. Don't have to use the back. Power in the legs will stand you up. Coming up, rolling over the shoulders, starting to go into a back bend, allowing my neck to open, look up at the skies, as far as you want to. Coming up, keeping control of the body, totally in vertical position. We are slamming our heels down. Let's do this just one more time. Here we go. Folding over from the quad. Coming down, lovely big loose heavy arms, softening my knees. Coming over, arms are heavy on the floor. And then when I'm ready, I'm pushing up from my legs. The legs are doing the work. Pushing up, keeping the body soft. Head comes up last, really helps with any dizziness. Rolling back the shoulders, continuing to lean back a little bit. Arms are soft. And when you're ready, we come to the vertical. Picking those heels up and slamming your energy back down the floor. And that is shaking the flower in the flower pot, rearranging all the organs into their correct places. Beautiful. Okay, a little bit of a shimmery shape. We're going to say hello to some items up in that universe again. We're going to start with our 3 treasures, which is kind of like 3 stars within us. I'm going to put myself into a small horse stance, just so I feel a little bit more grounded. Soften down, breathing in, feeling calm. We gather some energy from behind. We're bringing this lovely energy to the lower dantian area, just around the belly, holding, breathing. And use this form as a meditative form, just to connect all parts of your body. We then gather again and come further up to the heart center area. hands are holding. You can just turn the fingers slightly in, so projecting some chi back into the body, creating a circular system through your arms and back in. And for our third treasure, we're going to turn the hands and place them into a triangle shape, which is for the spleen, and hover it just above the forehead, connecting up the upper powers, spirit in the body. When you're ready, soften down and open. Beautiful big circle in front of you, whole of the universe. And come back down. Let's do that again. Body to the lower area or our hara, lower dantian. Beautiful. Holding that, feeling the chi coming back into the body through the fingers. Gathering, coming up, heart center area. There's more of the mind. Come up near the forehead into that spleen triangle. Thinking of our spiritual side. Opening, circulating the chi, big chi field around you. Beautiful golden light. Last time, here we go. Simplicity. A bit higher. Compassion with the heart center. Last one, higher up, humility. 3 treasures, 3 ways to help guide your life. Opening up, big circle, chi. Hands to the lower dantian. Rub that all in, rub that all over. We're going to go into plucking a star. Up into that lovely universe. We're going to make a great big dipper. So this is a lovely twist for that spine again, that longevity feeling. So placing one hand on the back, kidney area, Ning Men, energy point, gate of life, center of the waistline on the spine. Other arm's going to come out. We are twisting, softening our knees and heading towards the opposite ankle. So we're coming down like a corkscrew, coming all the way down to earth, touching the floor, almost or the ankle. Grasp a little star. In your hand, you're holding one. We're uncorking, spiraling up. Take that all the way. Keep turning as far as you can. As you're as far as you can, let go of that little star. Bring your energy in a flurry above you. If you're drawing a crescent, and in your hand you are allowing loads and loads of stars, constellation of stars coming out. As soon as you've got enough twist, bring that energy back to the front, turning the hand, and that stardust just floats, shimmer and shines, flowing over you. Beautiful. You interconnect the hands, change them over, allowing the other one to open up, and we're twisting to the other side. Allow the body to turn and twist. Sinking down, finding the star by your ankle. Grasp the star and we're untwisting all the way up. Higher and higher and higher. Turning as if you want to look behind you. Release that star. And from your hand, multiple stars are just pouring out. Maybe into the night sky. Shimmer and shining. Twisting back, creating a crescent above your head. Bring that energy back to the front. Turning the hand and allowing stardust to shimmer and shine and bathe you. Bathing in the night sky, bathing in the stardust. Beautiful. Releasing the arms. We're just going to draw down the moon. Soften your knees. Hands can hold the moon. And we're just going to turn, lifting that heel up to get a little bit more of a twist. And arms generously out, grasping the moon and drawing it down. Bring it down to the lower dantian. And then we're going back up the other side. Hands open. If you are creating a bigger balloon in your hands, and we're bringing that down. So we're going up to the sky, to the moon, and drawing that down, drawing the moon down. Just turn the ankle, lifting the heel up, bringing that earth essentialness, the moon, down into the earth. Without the moon, Earth would not exist as we know it. Very important part of our existence. Do a couple more turning, soft twist as you're using your heel just to help the movement. One more this side. Coming up, bringing that down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to retrieve the moon from the lake. So again, we're bending over at the qua, soften the knees. This is our little drunk monk who's a bit confused where the moon is. We've let go of everything and we're coming down. Hands are holding the moon. They're between our legs. The moon is reflected in the water behind us. We're going to bring that moon up, place it back into the sky. If you can, do a little bit of a back bend and pop it really high up. And then we're so confused, we're going to go back down, hands open as if we want to hold the moon, and there it is reflected in the water behind us, taking those arms right through the leg. So we just get this movement, this lovely flow movement, of taking two hands, parallel arms from one extreme to the other, but only going as far as feels comfortable for you. Moving that backbone on the vertical, lovely curved way. A couple more of these. Check out the moon and the reflection behind you, between your legs. And then check out the moon shining beautifully in the sky overhead. Last time. Keeping hold of your moon. Looking at its reflection in the water. Bringing it back up. And let's pop it back into the sky. And coming back down. Leaving it where it should be. Okay, from Immortals, hanging out in the universe, we're now going to find some dragons. So I'm standing in smallish horse stance, so there's just a little bit more movement. The toes are coming out with the knees. Our arms are out, we're looking at the horizon and we are looking one direction And look in the other, we are searching for the dragon. So you can allow your whole hip movement and knees take you from one side to the other. Over mountains and valleys, lakes and seas, we search for our dragons. Where are they going to be? Big sweeping gestures with your arms. Looking there and looking here. A couple more of these. Searching the lands. Beautiful. Popping ourselves in standing posture. From here, we're going to check out the local forest. So fingers in the hair over the scalp if you can. 10 little dragons, that's all your digits on your hands, all the thumbs and fingers. And we are searching through the thick forest, the hair on your head, relaxing the scalp, taking the tension away as we're running through our little forest, searching for those 10 dragons. A couple more times. One more. Beautiful. From here we find the little golden dragon, just holding it very carefully in your hands, and it's going to wag his tail from one side to the other. Very precious, the little golden dragon. The little tail, the swishing from one side to the other. Allowing your hips to sway, going with the energy of the little special golden dragon in your hand. Very small, very precious. A couple more of these. Golden dragon. From here, the powers of our dragon are going to get much larger. We're going to say hello to the yellow dragon. The hands come out and form claws, but with a blade side to them. Standing posture, we're sitting down and we're pushing out these claws, bringing them down, turning them into little barrels as if you're rowing the boat. Bring that energy up through the body. Find your claws, very strong talons, big claws on the ends of your hands. And you're bringing that energy up through the body, finding your power. This yellow dragon is very large and very powerful. Bring it up, circulating your energy. Feel the tension of your hands, which are now big claws. Ready to hold on to the side of a mountain. Like you're getting ready for a climbing lesson. Bring that energy up, find your claws and bring it down. One more of these, yellow dragon. Pushes its claws out. Beautiful. From here, our dragon's going to get even bigger. We're going to do twin dragons, and that's thumb to middle finger. Bring your energy up. Hooray! We take a step out, 45 degrees one way, and we are in the sea. Hands come down, neck comes up. We're extending the neck and extending the leg down, rising up. Feet stay still. We're on one side of our body. We are riding through the seas, and our twin dragons are going in and out of the water. The weight goes from one leg to the other. You can breathe in as you come up, and as you go down, breathe out. Twin dragons emerging from the sea. Very powerful. One more on this side. We're going to go to the other side. So bring the energy up. Hooray. Other foot comes out 45 degrees and we're plunging down. Feet stay very still, very earth. Trying to get the back of the leg up the back of the spine and the neck very straight. Opening up the bladder channel. Feel the tendons opening up the back of the leg. Opening up that bladder channel, straightening it. Allowing the energy of the dragons to go down into the water as your neck comes up to meet the skies. The real yin-yang movement, this one. Double direction. One more this side. Twin dragons. Emerging from the sea. Beautiful. We're going to spend a couple of minutes doing the lovely swimming dragon, so we've become the dragon ourselves. Let's pop our feet together if we can, or as close as they will do. Okay. Soften the knees. We bend down and find our dragon head. It's about where the height of the knees are. It's a prayer hands. Bring out the elbows. Take your dragon to the side, turning the waist, and let's wake up our dragon. Going to come all the way up, overhead, beautiful tall shape, and you're going to come down to the shoulder horizontal line. At that point, your dragon's going to start swimming on 3 layers of your body. You need to turn away. It does not like being watched. Here we go. It's turning and swimming past your chin. You're looking the other way, swimming on the top of the water. Turning your hips, so we get a twist of the spine. It's swimming through the middle, turning our pelvis, turning our shoulder, we're looking away. It swims deep in the depth of the water. Turn the hips, turn the shoulder to look away. Back through the middle. And coming up to the top height again, at the top of the water. Pointing the opposite direction of where we came, and we're lifting our dragon all the way up above our head. We're coming up onto our toes and balls of our feet. Pause if you can. A little bit of a balancing act. Soften down, bringing those hands down. Turn them into a water mudra, which is an upside down triangle. Place it down by the lower dantian. Let's do that one more time. Swimming dragon. Soften the knees. Find the dragon. Turn to one side. Circulating. Our dragon is waking up. Coming all the way up like the sunrise. Over the head. And down till it starts on the beginning of the surface of the water. Shoulder height to one side. We then turn away, twisting our hips and our pelvis. Here we go, we're swimming on the top, pointing the fingers the direction your dragon is swimming, turning your hip and looking away. We then cut through the middle of the water, turning and looking away. And then we're swimming deep in the sea, turning and twisting that spine, taking your time, and coming back through the middle, cutting through the middle by the solar plexus. And the last one, we're on the top of the shoulders and we're going past, turning and looking away, lifting up all the way to the top. Kundalini rising, energy is really high, balancing on our toes. Coming down, softening, finding that upside down triangle, pausing at the lower depth. Beautiful. Hands soft. Take a step out and just push the waves. Allow the energy just to flow backwards and forwards, watching the water. Let's take it to the other side. Bring the energy back towards you, feet in standing, out the other side. Looking at your beautiful lake or sea, organising the water backwards and forwards. From here, we're going to take this water, we're going to cross the wild blue ocean. So pushing out, bring it back, feet back into standing posture. We're swirling around if we're in a whirlpool. You then turn one foot to the side, a little bit of an upward motion. We are pushing up, going over the wave. Bringing our hands back to the front, we're on that whirlwind, that whirlpool energy. We're turning the other foot and we're coming up and over the wave, in the big waves of the ocean. Very big swells. We need to ride the wave. Keep going up and over. Crossing the wild blue ocean. Turning and pushing over. Feel like we are in our little rowing boat. To keep our energy high. We don't want to be stuck in the swell at the bottom. We need to come up and over the waves. One more of these, turning, swirling, up and over. Bringing that back down, and we're just turning in the swirling water. Allowing the hips to move too. Feeling the turning of the world, turning of the earth. Turning of the universe. And your hands are near the back. See whether you can turn direction. Not always easy. Sometimes you feel like we're on just one path. Moving the water, swirling with the water. These hands, we're going to turn them to face each other. We're going to find that sun again. You can feel the heat of the sun. From sunrise, we need to do sunset. So we're going to go the opposite way. When you're ready, holding the sun big, and to turn your whole waist. The sun is coming up. Going to go well over your head, extending the arms, turning the hips and the waist. Sunrise, sunrise over the lake. Bringing that back down, all the way to the front. Beautiful. Hands to the earth mudra, and we're just pushing again. One side, changing the chi of that ball, holding the earth now, pushing to the other side. See how you're feeling now after all that movement, whether the movement of turning from the waist, slightly easier, woken up the back, spine, all the ligaments, helping the vertebrae. Interchanging those hands, holding the earth, pushing to the side. Last time, interchanging, pushing, coming back, finding that earth center, the weight of the earth in the other hand. And again, we're turning the hands till we hold the chi ball again. Turn it so you're holding it. In front of you, we're just going to turn that universe back. So this time we're turning it to the right. Small movement, universe within your body. first to the neck. Time and space to travel. Beautiful. Bring that chi in. Place it within the body. Beautiful big rub. Rub your own earth, your big belly, aura. Bring that into the heart center. Fantastic. Thank you for coming. We're going to finish with our 3 claps. Rub down our chi. 1, 2, 3. Rub down any chi. You do the little bit more smoothing off. Don't forget all parts of your body. Face, neck, and hands are great, especially for